Hey guys, it's Junior. Welcome back to the Horsepower Warehouse. Today I just wanted to give you guys a recap of everything that we've been doing for the previous 5 days. Everything I've done this week. I'm sure you guys have saw the thumbnail, so we have something really cool going on with the C1 over here. But before we get into that, let me show you just exactly what exactly else we've had going on. I'm going to start first and foremost with this 65. So this one has just been wet sanded and buffed. We've put all the emblems back on it, all the door handles, all the fixtures that we needed to remove when we prepare it to be color corrected, I guess would be the correct terminology, because this thing looks absolutely fantastic. You'll have to excuse the shadow here, but we can use a little bit of the sunlight to show you guys the type of finish that we can achieve out of a complete wet sand and buff of a car with really nice paint. You know, it's all about the condition underneath. This thing came out really fantastic. This is, of course, 65, power brakes, power steering, no air conditioning, but done correctly. I like, you know, all the correct GM branded hoses and clamps, and I mean, I can see all the correct markings on the gearbox, and really nicely done car. I didn't completely build this car. We just kind of went over and did some final touches, but red interior is really nice. The only thing that I would probably critique on the car right now is the carpet. It just doesn't match the I'm not gonna say the quality, the condition of everything else. Like the door panels are nice and bright and fresh. The seats look fantastic. You know, I mean, the coves look really good. Please excuse it being a little dirty. I haven't detailed this car at all in terms of anything besides the wet sand and buff. It's all that's been done. So you're gonna notice we got compound on the tires from, we put covers on it, but it creeps underneath, and all the door jambs still have compound in them, and so on and so forth. But like I was saying, only thing I would critique on this is the carpet. I would put new, fresh red carpet in it, and then, you know, it's a labor of love to try and keep it that way, but I think that's the only thing it needs, because the rest of the car looks fantastic. Gold line tires, bias plies, knockoffs. This is not a side pipe car, but I promise you guys it is every bit as loud as a side pipe car, because I don't know if you can see up under here. This is where your muffler would normally sit, and this is an off-road exhaust. You can see also, if you look along the bottom of the car, you see those bulges in the center. Those are the resonators. So it does have kind of like a baffling setup, but it's really just a straight through pipe with, you know, divots in it. So doesn't really do much in terms of actual muffling capability. You know what? No one's here. Let's go ahead and give you guys a little demonstration. Why not? I know you guys clicked on a channel called Horsepower Warehouse, so you're probably interested in hearing what an off-road exhaust sounds like. And this is as cold as it can get, guys, so you can see that water gauge just went to knit. So let's give her 2 pumps. I know that the camera on this, or the microphone on this camera, doesn't do really good justice just how much louder this is than a standard exhaust, but this thing's doing everything I like to see. All the gauges work, really good oil pressure. I mean, you can see I'm off the gas pedal. I'm just holding the clutch in, and it's got 60 pounds of oil pressure, so that's really good. Of course, it's stone cold, so that's, you know, it's going to have a little bit less oil pressure as the fluid warms up. It's loud. I mean, I don't know. Comment below, what do you guys think? It's a little bit aggressive. I can see why so many people kind of have preference for the muffled exhaust. That's the off-road variation. It's rowdy. Oh, I don't know, say it's rowdier than the side type exhaust. Anyhow, this one's getting ready to be wet sand and buff, the Thunderbird. You guys have saw a previous video with our Jeep, the 65 FJ6. This was a, I believe a retired either postal van or a milk van. But we've cleaned out the interior, kind of. I mean, just basically stripped everything, went over the engine. You can see I have this gargantuan of an alternator out here that needs rebuilt. We put a new water pump on it. We did plugs and wires and cap and rotor and, you know, the basic stuff, all the fluids. This thing runs fantastic, but it was not charging correctly. It was just putting out a weak charge, and the water pump was making a weird sound. So just the normal stuff. Of course, you know, you expect that. It needed a battery and so on and so forth, but we're gonna go through and make this thing a really, really cool vehicle. It already is, but I think when it's running top-notch, new tires, so on and so forth, this thing will be a vehicle that someone can really enjoy. Speaking of a vehicle that people can really enjoy, or someone has, this Bronco 66 came from, I believe, Arizona, was drug out of the desert, sat there for years and years, came to us. This guy's been driving the absolute crap out of this truck. It's been doing really well for him. He has just minor complaints about little stuff that really has nothing to do with, you know, the services we perform, but we take care of our customers. So nonetheless, you know, it's here. We've already taken care of the little stuff, so we're good to go. This one has been sitting since 2008, actually, in I think a aircraft hangar or a warehouse. But I wanted to show you guys, we did just a little spot. Check out the paint. You can see we actually sanded this panel, but you can't really tell because the rest of the paint looks this bad. It has no reflection to it. Isn't that crazy? We did not do anything to the side of the car, so that shows you. I mean, this thing is hammered. Now we got a little bit of paint pop in here, right in this corner. Nothing wet sand and buff is gonna do about that. But the rest of the paint, I mean, check it out. We did another spot out front. Isn't that crazy? We didn't do anything else to the rest of the hood. Just sanded, compounded, second and third stage right here on this one spot. I wouldn't have thought that this paint is going to come back, you know, that good. But I've been fooled before. We've had cars come through here, and we don't own this one. This is a customer car, so he got lucky. We're going to be doing a bunch of other service to it. We've got it running, but now that it's running and we know the engine's good, we're going to proceed forth with, you know, the rest of the stuff that needs done. Pretty crazy what you can get out of it. Before we walk right on past, I want to talk about this. And this is probably the thumbnail I'm going to use for today's video because we got something really cool going on right about there. Now, I don't know if I showed you guys this in a previous video, but this is a 59 Corvette. It has a ZZ4 motor. It's a really, really neat car from the get-go, but it had this on it. So the ZZ4 motor is a Chevrolet crate motor. It's a really nice little snappy, you know, 358 based engine. This had the, you know, the custom air cleaner on it. It looked good. It matched all the pinstriping on the rest of the car, but it just didn't have the wow factor. So let me show you guys. We were actually gonna do like a LT4 or LT5, but we decided, look at that. Old school, we have just one of the inlet hats sitting there so we can kind of mock up where things are gonna go. But everything's gonna fit. It will fit under the hood. Isn't that incredible, guys? We wanted to keep it kind of old school hot rod. I know that there's a lot of modern stuff going on here, you know, modern, you know, Sandon style compressor, a fully polished serpentine style front runner setup with a one wire alternator, and you know, there's a lot of modern touches going on in this car, but we still wanted to keep it old school, I guess. So yes, that will look fantastic. So basically with the setup, each cylinder has its own inlet. So this one runs straight through, down, and into that head. So you have 8 of them. So essentially, I know you have 4 carburetors, but you know they're isolated so that basically you have 8 carbs on this setup. It's a side draft. Weber is what it's called, but fantastic. I can't wait to hear this thing. It's gonna sound really, really wicked with the headers, the complete stainless exhaust, you know, and that individual runner intake setup is going to sound not only unique, but I think really, really nice. I'm excited about that. So you'll see this one coming up in a future deal. White car, you can see that the engine is out right there. It actually is going to get a complete cleaning first and foremost. Then we're going to paint everything and recondition it, get it, you know, nicer than it is. I'm not going to do a complete restoration on this car, but I'm going to give it the justice that it deserves. Engine is back from our engine builder, Steve Keach at the Big Machine. He's the best. He's the best in Florida and arguably in the country. Have not even touched the 67. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, because I've been doing a lot with the 66 Mosport. You can see that the rolling chassis has made a little bit of progress since the last time I've shared it with you guys. Pretty much all of this is done, and a lot of this is getting there. Of course, the valve covers aren't gonna be used on this, nor is the air cleaner. We're just kind of mocking some stuff up, but this has made a tremendous amount of progress. Also, I have finished the bottom of the car. You can see it's all been stripped. We have the transmission tunnel insulator in. Everything has been painted in the engine bay. Up front here, I've started putting, you know, the rubber deals on and the A-arm protectors. I have not done this side yet. You can see kind of what I start with. It's just it's a bear to put those on. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. You have these stainless staples that are like impossible to bend, and so you have to use a really small drill bit and, you know, the correct spacing and drill it out. And to make it look like that, it's a small feat. Everything is out of the interior, completely gutted. Dash is out of it, everything. So looks really nice underneath though. You can see that the roller is coming along really nicely as well. We have a couple cars over there that are sold, but I've got some secrets, some stuff that's going to be future videos that I don't want to spoil, so I can't bring you over there right now. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me. This video has been long enough. If you guys, if you're still watching, thank you so much. Please consider subscribing, and until next time, take care.